The team program at Albemarle High School is an interdisciplinary program for students who are disengaged or not as motivated, not enjoying school as much as we would like them to in middle school. So it's taking math, English, history, and science and combining them in interdisciplinary projects and problems to help students really feel like they can connect to what they're learning. We knew that for these students, Albemarle is a big school. We needed to give them a home and a place within the school. So to create that community in the team program, we do community building for the first couple weeks very frequently. Challenges, games, something to create that. And then as we go throughout the year, we do advisory groups. So we each have students that we're responsible for, and we check in with them on their grades and their projects and how they're doing. So that as we go along, it's all about collaboration, it's all about building those soft skills, and we never let up on that. So that hopefully by their sophomore year in the program, the 9th grade team has done a really good job of preparing them for that next step. The more that we looked at what our students really need, and we looked at lifelong learners' competencies that we have in the county and the content, it seemed like, why can't we take algebra and learn it through the lens of earth science? Why can't we take world history data and find equations for it? Like, why can't we put all of this together? Normally for math teachers, especially at lower level maths like algebra, we look at kind of, what's the best way to explain the problem, and we focus a lot on how to teach it and how to get them step by step. So now that I have this opportunity to take all of these different subjects and just do whatever we want with the algebra, it's really forced me to kind of think outside the box. And so when we have a lab, I'm looking at the old earth science labs, what ways can we fit this in? We're saying we're going to do an astronomy unit, and I'm thinking, okay, what parts of algebra will fit in there? Scientific notation, exponents, okay, we need to design a project about those for that unit. And so it's just really making me think about the math a lot more in depth. One of the biggest challenges so far in the team program has been time. Just looking from teachers, how are we going to collaborate and come up with these brand new projects that fit the students' interests, and how are we going to make them all match our curriculum and get all of our curriculum in time. In the freshman year, we have 3 SOLs that we're preparing for, and the algebra in particular they really need to graduate. But just by the way the program works, I have them half as much time as they normally would for algebra, and then there's projects on top of that. So how do we balance that? How do we make them love school and love learning without missing out on all the standards that they need to know for one assessment at the end of the year? So that's been one of our biggest challenges. There's a couple different things that happened at William & Mary that really prepared me, I think, to be an interdisciplinary teacher and somebody that wanted to change the way that they're teaching and the way that schools operate very early on in my teaching. One of them was that I double majored in undergrad in English and math, so I already have a good experience of putting the two together. I worked with Dr. Charity Headley quite a bit. I had her in linguistics in undergrad, and then she had different programs that I came to about linguistics in the STEM areas, and then I did some research with her. There's also the NOIS program at William & Mary, which was, I just think the NOIS program is so beneficial. It helps science and math majors become teachers, and it gave me so many opportunities before I even started teaching. I had, I think, 3 different internships with summer schools where I taught full summer school classes. I had internships with several different principals and administrators, so I got to see that side of things and kind of have a good holistic view of teaching. I also, in the graduate classes, they're always challenging us whenever we would have a project to not just for your content area, but how would that work in each content area? And often I think the one most people struggle with is math, so it was kind of that pushing ourselves to, well, we want to give an example of how math would work with English. And I remember there were only 4 of us in the math program that year, so it was kind of like our challenge of, okay, well, how's the math going to work in this history class then? How would it work in the science class? And so when it was given the challenge of making interdisciplinary lessons, it felt very familiar because we had already done that work at William & Mary together. It's been such a great experience for the teachers, for the students. The community members are all really interested and really eager to learn more about it. And I think just the interest has given the students such a voice of this is who I am, and they want to tell other people about the program. And at the end of last year, they did a whole unit about what is the team program, what is Team 19, and we'll do the same thing with Team 20 this year. And just giving them that chance to say, this is my experience, this is my high school, this is why I'm learning, has been so powerful. So I think any risk that you can take that gives students more voice, makes them more motivated, helps improve their interest is just so powerful. And I don't think you can lose when you do that, because no matter what the SOL scores say at the end of the day, did they want to come to school? Were they interested? Can they go home and actually talk about what they learned with excitement? Like, that's what really matters. 3 years from now, 10 years from now, they might not know how to make a box and whisker plot, and that's okay. But if they know that they learned some algebra content that they could use in the real world, that's so much more powerful. Even if they don't remember the algebra, if they know that they could learn and they have problem-solving skills and they know they can work with other people and they feel confident about that and they know that they were loved and supported at school, like, then that's what it's all about.